Episode 5 begins with the kind of quiet that makes you uneasy. The sun rises over the ranch, the horses graze peacefully, and for a moment, it feels like Heartland is back to its old comforting rhythm. But that peace doesn't last. Beneath the surface, there's tension, something unspoken between Amy and Nathan that everyone around them can sense. After the survival chaos from the previous episode, Amy tries to get back to work, focusing on her clients, her horses, and her business. But emotionally, she's still trapped in the wilderness, still replaying the moments when she thought she might lose Nathan and Caleb forever. Meanwhile, Nathan is acting strangely distant. He spends most of his mornings helping Jack around the ranch, but his mind seems elsewhere. He watches Amy from afar, clearly wanting to talk, yet holding himself back. It's that familiar Heartland tension, the kind that builds slowly, making the audience wonder what secret is being held behind those calm expressions. And it turns out there is a secret. Nathan has received an offer to move back to Calgary for a new job, one that could give him the stability he's always wanted. But the catch? It would mean leaving Heartland and Amy behind. On the other side of the story, Lou is juggling more than ever. Between the ranch finances, her duties as mayor, and her constant worry about Katie's growing independence, she's starting to crack. Lisa notices her stress and tries to get her to slow down, but Lou just won't admit she's overwhelmed. And this is where the episode's subtle suspense starts to build. Everyone is hiding something: Amy's confusion, Nathan's dilemma, Lou's exhaustion, and all of it is about to collide in unexpected ways. Back in the barn, Amy begins working with an Olympian's horse, one that's supposedly worth millions. The owner, a confident and demanding equestrian named Charlotte Hayes, believes her horse has developed an emotional block that no one has been able to fix. Amy, known for her special connection with animals, promises she'll try her best. But as she works with the horse, she senses something unusual. The horse doesn't just seem scared, it's agitated, unpredictable, almost as if it's reacting to something unseen. Amy's instincts tell her there's more going on here than meets the eye. At first, she brushes it off, thinking maybe it's just nerves after the plane incident. But later that day, as she tries again, the horse rears up violently, nearly throwing her off. Everyone watching gasps, especially Nathan, who rushes to help her. Amy insists she's fine, but the tension between them sparks again. Nathan tells her she's pushing too hard, that she needs to rest, but Amy snaps back that she doesn't need anyone to tell her how to do her job. Their argument might sound small, but it reveals something deeper. Both are trying to protect each other, but neither knows how to say it out loud. Meanwhile, Caleb is dealing with his own troubles. After the survival ordeal, he's become the town's accidental hero. Everyone's calling him brave, strong, and loyal, but Caleb doesn't feel like any of those things. He's haunted by how close they came to disaster and how helpless he felt during those hours in the wilderness. Ashley notices his restlessness and tries to reach him, but their relationship is still fragile. She senses there's something he isn't telling her, something about Amy, perhaps, but Caleb stays quiet. That silence, though, says everything. As the day goes on, Amy receives a call from Charlotte Hayes. The Olympian is furious. The horse's behavior hasn't improved, and she blames Amy for making it worse. Amy tries to defend herself, explaining that healing takes time, but Charlotte cuts her off coldly. "Maybe you've lost your touch, Amy," she says before hanging up. That one sentence hits Amy like a punch to the gut. After everything she's done to rebuild her confidence, this accusation feels like a cruel echo of her past insecurities. Later that night, Amy sits alone in the barn, replaying Charlotte's words in her mind. Nathan finds her there, quietly brushing Spartan. Their conversation starts simple, small talk about the horses, but soon it takes an emotional turn. Nathan tells her that she shouldn't let people like Charlotte define her worth, that she's still the same person who's helped hundreds of horses and families heal. Amy looks up at him, her eyes filled with gratitude, but also confusion. There's something in the way he says it, so gentle, so sincere, that stirs feelings she's tried to suppress. And just when it feels like they might finally say what's in their hearts, a call interrupts them. Lou bursts in, panicked. Someone has leaked a video online showing Amy's session with Charlotte's horse, a video edited to make it look like she mistreated the animal. Within minutes, the rumor spreads across social media, and Amy's reputation is suddenly on the line. Everyone in Hudson is talking about it. Heartland's horse whisperer turns cruel, one headline reads. Amy is devastated. She knows it's fake, but the damage is already spreading fast. Nathan immediately offers to handle it, to track down who's behind it, but Amy refuses. She insists on facing this herself. Still, deep down, she's terrified. If she loses her clients, Heartland's business could crumble. If she loses her credibility, everything she's worked for since Ty's death could vanish. And this moment of fear and uncertainty, is where episode 5 truly begins to take shape. The calm before the storm is officially over, because someone out there wants to destroy Amy Fleming, and they've just made their first move. The next morning, Hudson wakes up buzzing with gossip. Everyone's phones are flooded with the same video, Amy yelling at Charlotte's horse, the animal rearing up, and then a carefully cut moment showing Amy losing her balance and pulling the reins too hard. To the untrained eye, it looks like abuse. To those who know Amy, it's a cruel fabrication. But the internet doesn't care about truth, it cares about drama. Comments pour in, full of outrage, anger, and betrayal. Some fans even tag newspapers and local news stations. Within hours, Amy Fleming's name becomes the center of a scandal she never saw coming. At Heartland, Amy sits at the kitchen table in complete silence, staring at her phone. Every few seconds, another notification pops up. Someone else sharing the clip. Lou paces the room, furious and protective, while Lisa tries to calm everyone down. Jack, meanwhile, is old school. He doesn't understand how something online could cause so much damage, but even he can see the hurt in Amy's eyes. Katie quietly walks in, hesitating before asking, "Aunt Amy, did you really hurt that horse?" That innocent question shatters Amy's fragile composure. She gets up and leaves without answering, retreating to the barn where she feels safest. Nathan follows her there, determined to stand by her side. He insists they go to the authorities or at least confront Charlotte Hayes directly. But Amy shakes her head. "If I go to her angry, it'll just make things worse," she says softly. Nathan clenches his fists, frustrated that she's always trying to protect her reputation instead of herself. The tension between them grows stronger, but underneath it all, there's something else. Loyalty, care, maybe even love. And that's when Nathan says something that changes everything. "Amy, if you don't fight back, they'll bury you." His voice cracks as he says it, revealing how deeply he cares. Meanwhile, Lou takes matters into her own hands. She calls Tim and Peter for an emergency meeting. Even though the two don't always see eye to eye, they both agree that Heartland's image must be defended. Peter suggests hiring a PR expert to handle the backlash, but Lou hesitates. Amy has always believed in authenticity, not manipulation. Still, with sponsors and clients already pulling out of deals, Lou knows they don't have much choice. She decides to hold a public statement that evening, hoping to clear Amy's name before things spiral further. At the same time, Caleb drives into town to confront Charlotte Hayes. He finds her outside the stable where her horse is kept, giving instructions to a reporter. The moment she sees Caleb, she smirks. "If Amy wants to play the victim, she can, but I'm just showing the truth," she says arrogantly. Caleb, always fiery, demands to know who recorded the session. Charlotte plays innocent, claiming someone on Amy's team must have done it. Her tone makes it clear she's enjoying the chaos, but there's a flicker of guilt in her eyes that Caleb doesn't miss. He leaves without another word, but the seed of suspicion is planted. Back at Heartland, things take another dark turn. A mysterious email lands in Amy's inbox from an anonymous sender. The subject line reads, "You think the video was bad? Wait until you see what's next." There's an attachment, but Amy refuses to open it. She doesn't want to feed into whatever game this person is playing. Nathan, however, insists on checking it for her. Inside is a collection of manipulated photos, all designed to make Amy look negligent. Horses with injuries, broken fences, even fake invoices showing overcharged clients. Whoever is behind this knows exactly how to attack her credibility. Lou immediately calls the police, but without knowing who sent it, there's little they can do. Jack, visibly shaken, tells Amy that whoever is targeting her isn't just after her business, they're after her spirit. "They want to see you give up," he says quietly. "But that's not the Amy I raised." Those words reignite something inside her. She decides to fight back, not with anger, but with truth. That night, as the family prepares for Lou's press announcement, Amy records a message of her own. Sitting in the barn beside Spartan, she speaks directly to the camera. I've spent my whole life helping horses heal, she says. Sometimes they kick, sometimes they fight, but I've never, ever hurt one. The truth doesn't need to shout, it just needs to stand. Her words are simple, raw, and honest. Nathan watches from behind the camera, quietly proud. When Lou finally addresses the town live from Hudson Hall, she plays Amy's video at the end of her speech. For a moment, the room falls completely silent. People shift uncomfortably, realizing maybe they've been too quick to judge. But before anyone can process it, something unexpected happens. The lights flicker, the sound cuts out, and a projection appears on the wall behind Lou. Grainy footage of Charlotte's horse again, but this time showing a shadowy figure tampering with the horse's harness before Amy's session began. Gasps echo across the room. Someone was setting Amy up. Panic spreads as the image fades. Lou turns to the technical team, but no one knows how the footage appeared. Nathan runs to check the system, only to find that the source of the file is untraceable. It's almost like someone wanted to clear Amy's name, but didn't want to be found. Amy is left speechless, her heart pounding. For the first time in days, she feels hope, but also confusion. Who sent that footage, and why now? Later that night, Amy sits alone under the stars, trying to piece it all together. Nathan joins her quietly, offering her a mug of coffee. Maybe someone's looking out for you, he says. Amy smiles faintly, but her eyes are still full of questions. Or maybe, she whispers, they're just playing another game. Because one thing is certain, whoever started this rumor isn't done yet. Morning comes, but peace still feels miles away. Heartland may have quieted down after the shocking footage that surfaced during Lou's press conference, but Amy knows it's far from over. The mysterious video that appeared out of nowhere cleared her name for now, but raised even more questions. Who recorded it? Who had access to the training footage? And why did they wait until things got so bad to intervene? Amy can't shake the feeling that someone close to her might be involved. Nathan suggests calling the police again, but Amy refuses. She's tired of letting others control her story. This time she wants answers on her own terms. Determined, she starts going through every file, every camera recording, and every client message from the past few weeks. What she discovers shocks her. There's a missing gap in the ranch's security footage. A full 2-hour window has been deleted on the same day Charlotte's horse was being trained. Only someone with access to Heartland's system could have done it. Meanwhile, Lou and Peter try to contain the aftermath. Lou's inbox is filled with both support and skepticism. Sponsors are holding back their deals until the matter is officially cleared. Peter urges her to take a break, but Lou just can't. She's always felt responsible for protecting her family, and right now, it feels like everything's slipping through her fingers. Lisa tries to comfort her, reminding her that Heartland has survived worse, but Lou's face says it all. She's not sure this time will be the same. On the ranch, Caleb finally opens up to Nathan about his confrontation with Charlotte Hayes. He admits she looked nervous when he mentioned the recording. Nathan immediately grows suspicious. If Charlotte wasn't behind the leak, then who was trying so hard to frame Amy? They both start connecting the dots, realizing whoever orchestrated this has been planning it for weeks, maybe even months. Someone who knows Heartland inside out. Someone who knows how Amy works, when she records her sessions, and what her weak points are. As the two investigate, a small clue emerges. A strange receipt left in the office trash can. It's for expensive camera equipment, purchased under the name D. Collins. Nathan instantly recognizes the name. It belongs to Dex, the new ranch hand Jack hired in episode 4. Suddenly, the easygoing, clueless boy doesn't seem so innocent. Nathan tells Amy what they've found, but she's hesitant to believe it. Dex? No, he's just a kid trying to find his way, she says. Yet deep down, doubt begins to creep in. Later that evening, as the sun dips behind the hills, Amy decides to confront Dex. She finds him alone in the barn, fixing a saddle. When she asks about the camera, his face pales. He stumbles over his words, saying it was for a college project. But his story doesn't add up. Nathan, who's been standing quietly behind Amy, steps forward and demands the truth. Dex's hands shake as he admits that he was filming the training session, but insists he didn't leak it. He claims someone paid him to capture the footage, promising a big reward if he kept quiet about it. Amy feels her heart sink. "Who paid you, Dex?" she asks. His silence says everything. Finally, he whispers, "Charlotte's assistant." The revelation hits like lightning. Nathan's eyes narrow. If the assistant did it, then Charlotte must have known, or at least suspected. Amy feels torn between anger and disappointment. She had trusted Charlotte, believed they were both professionals who cared about horses, but now it all feels like a cruel setup to humiliate her. Before they can decide their next move, Jack storms into the barn, holding his phone. "You'd better see this," he says, his voice grim. On the screen is another viral post. This time, it's Charlotte, giving an interview. She tearfully claims she never wanted the video to go public, but that Amy's carelessness forced her hand. She paints herself as the victim, saying Amy's negligence nearly ruined her horse's chances for the Olympics. The comments under the video are brutal. The town is divided again, and Amy's reputation takes another hit overnight. Nathan loses his temper. "That's it. I'm done watching people tear you apart." He declares he's going to confront Charlotte in person, but Amy stops him. "No, Nathan. That's what they want, for us to act out of anger." Still, her calm demeanor can't hide the fire in her eyes. She's not going to sit back anymore. If Charlotte wants a war of words, Amy will fight it her way, with truth and evidence. Meanwhile, in the background of all this chaos, another story is unfolding quietly. Katie and Dex cross paths again the next morning. Dex looks broken, ashamed for what he's done. Katie, unaware of the full story, just sees a boy struggling with guilt. Their short conversation shows a softer side of Dex. He admits he didn't mean to hurt anyone and that he's scared Amy will never forgive him. Katie tells him that sometimes the only way to fix a mistake is to face it head on. Her words, innocent but wise, stick with him. At the same time, Lou gets an unexpected call from someone claiming to have more information about the footage. The caller refuses to give their name but says they'll meet her tomorrow at the Hudson Cafe. Lou decides not to tell Amy yet. She doesn't want to get her hopes up. But as soon as she hangs up, Lisa warns her that this could be a trap. Lou agrees, but she's desperate for answers. That night, Amy can't sleep. The wind howls outside, the horses shift restlessly, and her mind races. She keeps thinking about Dex's confession and the missing camera footage. The more she pieces it together, the clearer it becomes that this isn't about a single incident. It's a deliberate attempt to ruin everything she's built. Someone wants Heartland to fall, but who would go to such lengths? As Amy looks out into the darkness, a figure moves near the stables. She grabs her flashlight and steps outside. The light catches something, a boot print, fresh in the mud. And then faintly she hears a whisper, carried by the wind. "You should have stayed quiet, Amy." Her breath catches. She spins around, but there's no one there. The next morning feels heavier than usual. The air around Heartland carries an uneasiness that no one can quite explain. The family gathers at breakfast, but there's silence instead of conversation. Amy keeps glancing at the door, still haunted by the whisper she heard the night before. Jack notices her distracted look, but doesn't press her. He knows that when Amy's ready, she'll talk. Nathan, however, can't stay quiet. He insists that what Amy heard wasn't her imagination. "Someone's watching you," he says, his tone sharp and serious. Amy wants to believe it's just paranoia, but the growing signs are impossible to ignore.
Meanwhile, Lou heads to the Hudson Cafe for the secret meeting. The small-town cafe, usually filled with laughter and chatter, feels unusually still. She spots a hooded figure sitting in the corner, sipping coffee. When she approaches, the person slides an envelope across the table without saying a word. "Who are you?" Lou asks, her voice low but firm. The figure finally looks up. It's Charlotte's assistant, the same person Dex claimed paid him for the footage. The assistant looks nervous, constantly glancing toward the door. "You didn't hear this from me," they whisper. "Charlotte didn't just want Amy discredited. Someone else is pulling the strings."